So in my world, I understand change is constant. But in this leadership world, and I'm not just talking about political leadership, we think that we're going to sit on the seat forever. Why is it that we can't embrace change? And if we then embrace change, we then begin actually passing on leadership to the next generation and giving them a leg up while the time is there. But situations with leaders, it's that it is forceful removement in 99%. Have it be in, rarely do we hear times like where you stepped down. So what's it about change and leadership? And to the leaders in this room, what could you say to them about that?
One is that we have a responsibility to nurture a culture where we respect each other and respect boundaries. When you are elected as a leader, the question is, do you then become the master, or are you the servant of the people? Are you the principal or the agent? Our constitution now spells this out completely. The people of Kenya are sovereign. So they remain masters of not just the elected leaders, but people in office. Because people in office donate power, exercise power donated by the people. So once we get it in our mind that the people remain the masters, the principals throughout, we will then begin to have a culture or to nurture a culture where the individual must give way to the collective. So if the collective is saying no, I may feel deeply you are wrong, but I need to give way to you because you're my master. That's what Ruto and his government should have done. Instead of killing the Gen Z to remain in power, they should have given way. And it is not fatal to leave leadership. I left leadership. I haven't been in an elected position the last 13 years. I still am. You don't dissolve. And you can live within your limited means. And if you're struggling, you'll not be alone. A majority of Kenyans are struggling. If you're doing well, you'll still be among those who are doing well. So we have to have that culture where those who are exercising donated power never tell us enough is. It is only the master who can say enough is. If for you enough is enough, go home. That's what it means. Kama kazi yetu imekuwa too much, nenda zako. Wachia wa Kenya, wajifanyie. So I think it is us who are going to bring that culture. How do we bring it? Don't give us breathing space. If a leader does something so wrong and that is deeply offensive or deeply hurting to the people of Kenya, if it is shift, wherever the leaders walk, let them know they are responsible for the suffering and deaths. Wherever people walk, let them know they are responsible. That's why in the developed world, you hear a leader saying they are going nowhere. Boris, what was his name? Johnson. I like to call him Boris Yeltsin because the names are so similar. He has his parentage, some of it is from across, it's Europe. So he's Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson had said he would not resign. Within a short time, he resigned. Because it becomes attainable. Wherever you go, you're being bombarded. You got to go. There they don't have to go under the barrel of the gun. They just give it up. It's me and you who are allowing impunity to reign in this country. We've got to collectively, as a collective, we can overcome any situation. But we have not used our strength as a collective. You don't use it as an individual, we don't use it as a collective. And the other day I asked, where are our professional societies? Where are the architects? Where are the engineers? Where are the accountants? The lawyers, I can see them. Where are the others? Those days, when the Law Society was advocating for democracy, human rights, expanded democratic space, we were not alone. The professionals were not coming up individually, but we had the support of APSEA, the Association of Professional Societies of East Africa. It was based at the Professional Center, the same place the Law Society was based. So if the professions will not come out individually, have they considered they could go under the umbrella so that your fear is absorbed by the group? But you need to be out there standing with your leaders so that they do not stand out. If you have a council, be with your council. Moita was not charged for contempt alone. There were 6 of us charged for contempt of court. One is easier to deal with. If you are a majority, Faith Odhiambo is not alone. You can see the lawyers. You can see not just her counsel. You'll see the lawyers all around the country. We are the ones who are making the situation more dangerous for our colleagues by refusing to be a collective to defend what is there. Yeah.
This has been such a powerful, fast session. I have one more question. And then we're going to go into a break. This one just started burning as you were speaking. First of all, Martha, you're so eloquent, articulate, and you deliver your answers with such weight. And that weight is not just intellectual. It comes with the rich history, understanding, wisdom, vision. So thank you so much for even agreeing to be here. There's a lot that you're jogging my mind and just making me have understandings and the role that I need to play. Public sector, government, the two have to work together. Public sector is not an island. But I understand the difficulty that it is in this system called government, and corruption is plays such a huge role, not just in public sector, but equally in private sector. But the system here completely eats you up and forces you to adapt and change. And it makes it so difficult to go against the grain in this system called government. So people here who are leading in corporate Kenya are terrified and are not willing to go into this place called government because of the nonsense that happens in this space called government. I'd rather be in my silo and work in the public sector. However, now we get to the point where we can't, because public sector is beginning to interfere. I mean, the government is really beginning to find its roots within every sector of public sector. I mean, of the private sector. So my question is, business sustainability. How is that going to be possible? How do you see it happening? What can we do? Because we can't quit. We're at the point of no return now. We have to infiltrate this side, and we have to also make it work for private sector to continue, for entrepreneurship to thrive. And there are very many entrepreneurs here.
I want to say, to begin with, very, very few people work in the public sector compared to the population of the country. But it is the largest employer if you are talking only about the employed. Fact number 2, government is the largest corporation in the country that you can do business with. So the private sector depends on government, not wholly. For all those big contracts, if you check the amount of money moving between, you will see that they rely on the public sector quite a lot. But if you come to think of everyday life, very few people are working for government. And that's what I keep convincing myself. So I'm with the majority who do not work for government and they survive. You will miss opportunities as a private entrepreneur. Anybody who does not want corrupt ways of doing business right now will not work with public sector. Because at some stage, there will be rent seeking and you cannot, whatever with it. Is it a sacrifice worth making? What about you who feels you must chase the public sector, what percentage of you are getting those contracts? Very, very few. Tamaa tu ndio itakuongoza. Utaenda ukimeza mate, lakini hupati. A majority will not get. So other than the burning desire, tamaa, to get to that, there is nothing else holding you back. Because very few, even in a government like Kebake's, where you didn't need to know anyone and you could get those jobs, how many people got compared to the enterprises in Kenya? You know? What got to people was not favors in government, is that there was free flow of capital. You could get money, you could borrow money at comfortable rates to do your business. That openness, opening of the economy where everybody could get support, is what enabled every Kenyan to thrive, that in every little Kenyan village, you could see activity. It is not that the government gave them favors. Tamaa tu ndio inatuzuia, hakuna kitu ingine. And even if you used to get contracts, can't you sacrifice? Look elsewhere? It will be hard, but hard is what every Kenyan is living with. And let's assume you even got a fat job where you got a mortgage, a second mortgage because you want a spare house, a third one because you want a good car. And now, taxation has come that is going to take almost 10 to 13% of your pay, your heavily mortgaged pay. Suddenly, with your fat salary in public service, you will not be able to service all your mortgages. Your children are in the academies. You will no longer be able to afford. You are now struggling. In your lofty position up there, you are struggling just like the person at the bottom. Take a minute to worry about how that person earning 9,000, previously removed from taxation, but now having to pay SHIF, housing levy, actually it's SHIF-SHA, housing levy, and God knows what other taxation, because even NSSF went high. You see? And yet, they're not getting the service they want. They're not getting medical, they're dying. They can no longer afford food because 2,000 for a person earning 9,000 is the food for the whole month. It's actually murder, if you like. So if you think about all that, isn't it better we brave it? Suffer the pains of birth, of labor, and give birth to the Kenya the Constitution envisaged? This is the question. And whether you are in the struggle or not, you will still die because your day will come. Afadhali ukufe ukifanya kazi ya Mungu.
A round of applause for Honorable Martha Karua. Let me take this. So we're going to